When working with transparent resin, I always pre-seal the wood slabs with epoxy, and I wanted to share with you why I do that. If you've seen my videos before, you've probably heard me say I'm not worried about the microbubbles in the deep pore resin. And that's true, because if you're using a good quality resin, those air bubbles will rise to the top surface and pop on their own. However, there is another source that creates microbubbles that can get trapped during the cure process in your resin, and that's the wood slabs. As the wood is dried so it can be worked with, most of the moisture is removed, which leaves behind microscopic pockets of air. The best way to describe a wood slab is like a dry sponge. And when you pour resin on the slab, it seeps into the wood and displaces that air and brings it back into your resin in the form of microbubbles. Now, deep pore resin takes a while to cure. It can take up to 24 hours for it to turn from a liquid to a gel substance. Throughout that entire time, air is still being displaced out of the wood into the resin, and most of those air bubbles will make it to the top surface and pop on their own, but some of them will get stuck in the resin as it turns from a liquid to a solid. To prevent that, I pre-soak the wood slabs with an abundance of resin and then let it cure. This now traps the air that's in the wood slabs from getting into your main resin pour. To make sure I have a strong bond between the resin that I poured first and then the deep pour resin after, I rough it up to 120 grit before the main resin pour. It doesn't guarantee that there isn't a small crack or pinhole that didn't get sealed up, but it does cut down on the amount of microbubbles significantly. If I'm pouring a solid pigment or solid dye resin, I'm not too concerned about the bubbles, but for transparent, this is a necessity. If you want to watch the full video of how I poured this resin and finished this table, it's up on my YouTube channel at Jeremy Elkins. Let me know in the comments if you've tried this before and what success you've had.